Hi guys, morning, hope you're all well. Yeah, just usual thing, get the last couple of buttons clicked and I'll get going. Okay, I think everything's going. It's always hard to say whenever I first push the buttons, even though nothing's changed from yesterday. At the moment, I can't see if I'm live. Yeah, guys, if you can drop a little comment just to say you can hear me okay. And yeah, I'm going to carry on painting. Well, it's going to be my RC car that I'm converting into an Orc Buggy. It's a little bit oversized, but it's fun. And as you can see, yeah, it's going to be painted in kind of like a comic book style. Okay, well, I think everything's working. As I say, I can never tell when I first do it because obviously I'm still trying to load up YouTube to sort of see if I can be seen on there, which I think I can now. So yeah, I think things are working. So yeah, like I said yesterday, if anyone was watching yesterday, I'm converting an RC car into an Orc Buggy. Oh, I haven't got the car here, but it's a big car. Well, this is how big it is. This is the front bumper. So a nice sort of orky looking front bumper. Still need to do a few like hash lines and bits and pieces on this. But this is what I started yesterday. And yeah, this is how it's going to sort of like look. So say it's going to be quite a cool, funky looking Orc wagon. Because obviously the comic book style is nice, vibrant, strong colours. No dark washes or any of that kind of grim dark sort of look. Yeah, so something very different from my norm. And yeah, I love the result. Say just because it is big, fun, vibrant. Especially as obviously the orcs I have are big as well. So this is the orc size. Obviously here is your typical sort of orc. So yeah, much bigger. I think the files about 295% bigger when I print them out. As again, this is why I love 3D printers. The fact you can just print stuff out and the fact you can print things out whatever size. So plus I did jokingly say yesterday that I would love to have a kill team this size. I think I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm probably going to make 2 kill teams, obviously, because then you can fight against each other. But I guess at this sort of size, the fun thing is all the terrain pieces can just be general items around the house. You can turn your whole living room into a kill zone. So yeah, I'm gonna be printing and painting this sort of size kill team. So I reckon these sort of standing up, yeah, a good 6-7 inches. I reckon, which seems like a nice size for for a new size kill team. And obviously, so the first one we'll do will be orcs. But that's the other thing I've always said. So I do love the comic book style. It just takes a lot of time because obviously the painting's easy enough because it is just block colours, one block colour, then a lighter colour sort of over the top. But it's all the lining in or the drawing in with the black lines because obviously they go round everything, and that's where it takes a long time. So as much as I've always wanted a kill team painted slapchop, I've never done it because obviously it is a lot slower than any kind of other painting style. Oh, not any, I guess a lie, because some people have spent hours painting stuff. But definitely slapchop. Obviously, slapchop, paint the miniature, 20 minutes, job done. This sort of style, yeah, maybe 2-3 hours, depending on how much detail they've got. But again, that's why I'm doing this comic book style, because there's a lot of flat areas. So basically, I've got the buggy. I'll show you the actual buggy body in a minute. But yeah, lots of flat panels, and slapchop doesn't look good on flat panels, especially large ones, because you just can't get that even sort of look. Yeah, guys, obviously there's only a few of you watching, which I know there's only going to be a few people watching in the mornings because, well, most people are either in bed or at work. So yeah, I know there's only going to be a few people. If someone can leave a little comment, because I've popped the comment box out, and I just kind of want to check that the comment box works, really. Yeah, simple as that. So I can now see that I am here. I can hear myself. I can see I'm live. And yeah, and hit that thumbs up button if you like, guys. Right, so I am going to obviously put something on to watch, because probably like you guys, I can't sit and just paint. I like to have something on, whether it's the radio, a movie, or I'm binge watching a box set of sometimes. Morning there, Steve. All right, buddy? The yellow one looks great, very 3D comic looking overall. Yeah, so I just love the comic book style. Is just fun. And so I think these size orcs, yeah, they definitely deserve comic book style. I mean, you could slap chop these, but again, because there's so many, like even the muscles, there's larger, bulky areas. You're watching the new Challenger 3 tank. Oh. So yeah, so these wouldn't work too well slap chopped, but this comic book style, yeah. And I say I am now. This is where the problem I have. Again, this is why I always have like 3 or 4 projects on the go. But then sometimes I get 4, 5, or 6 projects on the go because I get distracted very easily. And yeah, go off and do other stuff. So these, I've got the heads on springs. So say these are going to be wibbly wobbly bobbly head orcs. Yeah, they do look like they're on toilets. But the thing is, though, even the seats, because I painted the seats yesterday, finished them off, they almost look a little toilet looking. So yeah, there's obviously the 2 seats in the front of the cabin, which the one of them the driver will be sitting on, and this dude here, he's going to be sitting at the back on some crates. So these still need a few more like hash lines and bits and pieces, but they're almost finished. So yeah, today I'm just going to get the 2 drivers done, and then next week I'm going to work on like the main sort of chassis body sort of thing. But say I think these when the RC car's built and this is bobbing up and down, I think it's going to look quite funny with the heads bobbing, and so the whole body is going to have springs underneath it as well. Anyway, that's enough waffle. I'm going to start cracking on and painting, because I know whenever I do a live stream, wherever I'm painting typically takes at least 5 times as long, normally because I do chat and then waffle. Obviously there's normally less chat, less waffle when there's less people on, which kind of makes sense. Dr. G Monami, good morning to you. So yeah, so anyone who's just joined, I'm building, I've got an RC car. I've always wanted an RC car ever since I've been a kid, radio controlled car that is. It's a 1/16 scale, apparently it goes 40 kilometers an hour, but it won't once I've put my orc buggy on top. So yeah, today I am painting the driver and the guy at the back. So say this is the bumper, and this is kind of shows you kind of just how big this thing is. So I will get the thing out later, but yeah, it's quite a large vehicle. So comic book style, say very simple. It is just block colours, so I've gone obviously over this dude with block colours. And then there's the case, so every colour I'm using, I've kind of got 2. Obviously this isn't what I use for him, this is what I use for the other thing. So there's always a darker colour and a lighter colour. And I've gone around like blues, yellows, browns, greens. Done all of them. This is the one I think I'm using for the orc. So yeah, Emerald Forest is the colour I've got in him at the moment. And I'm going to put this Electric Lime. It's very bright and very vibrant, but the good thing is it's comic book style. So this is where you can't really go wrong in the choice of colours. Yeah, just go for bright, fun colours, really. Again, it's all down to your preferences, what you want to do. So I will be filming this as well. I've got obviously just out of view, but my camera is here. I say my camera. It's an old phone. I think I've had the phone. Oh, I don't know. At least 5, 6 years, I guess, maybe longer. Yeah, that's what I use to film my videos with. It's just an old phone. So yeah, so you don't need anything expensive doing YouTube. I mean, I've been doing it for like 4 years and I'm still using the same thing. Every now and then I have tried to use other things. Always come back to using the phone just because the quality is decent and it doesn't take up too much room. So I used to be a wedding photographer. So I do have a lot of cameras, a whole variety of lenses. Because they're obviously bigger than a phone, as in deeper, and you need stronger arms to hold them, it all just gets cluttered. So even though I can probably get better quality with my professional cameras, although probably not a great deal that you'd even notice, yeah, using a phone, it's a lot easier, doesn't get in the way, and it's nice and small on a small arm. Anyway, I'm waffling still. So let's get back. Let's start doing some painting. So, right, I'm going to be filming this because I've started filming me painting in the block colours. Now I want to sort of show that I'll just go around afterwards and do some little bits here and there of a lighter colour. So it's meant to be highlights. Well, it's not necessarily just highlights because you can have some of the bits like underneath. So, yeah. There's no reason or rhyme how I do it. There possibly should be. But when I do the lighter colour, I just do bits here and there, which I think are fun. Again, having fun. Right, let's start the filming. So I'm just going to show that he is now all painted in the colour. And I'm going to say that's the green that I was using. Oh, what's happened there? Things focused. Right, let's film that bit again. As another thing, obviously, doing a YouTube channel, whenever you are working on things or building things, it is a lot slower than if you were just doing this hobby and obviously not filming it. Because every time I film something, obviously I have to set things up, go to do things. Sometimes like then I make a little mistake and have to re-film it, and then it is a case of just getting it all the footage together at the end and trying to make some sense of it. Right, so we'll do that bit again because for some reason the phone focused, but in the wrong spot. Right, so, and again, whenever I'm doing this, in my head I'm kind of roughly thinking what I'm going to say at the time. None of my videos are script, but that's kind of probably obvious because the way I waffle. So yes, I just film all the bits, edit together, and then do the talking over the top. Alright, so let's have a go. Where can we put some of this? Let's put some on his knuckles. So yeah, I'm just using Army Painter paints, not watered them down or anything like that. I'm just putting them on as is. So some of them I've had to do like 2 coats. Well, most of it's been like 1.5 coats, I guess. So this is the Army Painter, the Fanatic range. And on the whole, yeah, it goes on really well. Again, though, I am not the best at shaking these things. So sometimes I do think the paints, yeah, if they were shaken for longer and better, then they would come out obviously thicker and richer. And again, I know when this video comes out, because I'm going to mention in the video that, yeah, I don't thin paints down. And I know when this video comes out, there's going to be people going, oh, you need to thin the paints and all that. It's like... Right, I'll do for enough filming. I might do a bit more filming in a moment. Right, let's start something to watch. There we go. And I can crack on and paint. So it's only really when you do the black sort of highlighting bit that it starts to look comical. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's turn it around. Morning, guys. I hope you're all well. So yeah, I'm just painting some nice oversized orcs that are going to go in my RC car. Yeah, I bought a large 1/16 race, a remote control car, and I'm going to convert it into an orc buggy. But as you can see, yeah, the orc buggy is going to be, well, it's going to be cartoon comic book sort of style painted. This is just the big bumper for the front of the vehicle, and yeah, the whole vehicle and obviously the orcs all going to be painted good old comic book style. So the video for this will be out. I think I'm going to do a couple of videos. So one video I might get out of the weekend of me just painting these guys, but talking about obviously the rest of the video, as this will be a collaboration between me and another YouTuber, which will be pretty cool. Right then, that's them done. Yeah, so guys, I'm not going to waffle too much or talk too much, but obviously if you guys want to talk or ask questions, then yeah, by all means do so, and obviously I'll answer them. Otherwise, I am just going to be sort of obviously, well, cracking on and painting. But what I am thinking about doing is doing another live stream later on tonight. So these guys are probably going to get done now. Maybe not fully video live stream it, but these will be done sort of like this morning, midday. Then I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then this evening I'm kind of thinking about coming back on about 6-7 o'clock in the evening UK time to do the main buggy bit. So that should be cool, and yeah, there should be some more people on then. A little bit of filming. Yeah, so the best bit I do prefer when I'm doing the cartoon style is the black pen lining afterwards, because whenever I do this bit, it always just feels weird because obviously you're not trying to blend the colours in at all. You are going for like quite contrasty colours in the greens. It's almost like a yellow, and yeah, I always think it just looks really weird until you start doing the black lining at the end, and then it starts looking a bit more comic-y. Did I manage to find the sprue burger? No. The thing is, it's really weird. Going from a 2-bed flat, I'm now in a 4-bed house. And I've got one room that I put all my hobby stuff in. And yet this room, so I still haven't done a studio tour because this room's still a mess. Everything's kind of out, but I've still got lots of boxes of stuff. But I can't believe where it all where I can't even talk. Where it all was in the flat. The fact that this room is just chocker full of stuff, and there's still stuff in boxes yet to get out. So how I had it all in the flat, I just don't know. But obviously in the flat, it was like spread out everywhere. So it was in certain cupboards and drawers, different rooms, and all the rest of it. Whereas obviously now it's great because it is all here. But yeah. No, I didn't even look for the sprue burger. Mini X Crafts shouldn't be looking. I should have put a thing up saying Mini X Crafts do not look. Spoiler. You're right, buddy. I hope you're well. Hope you got some sleep. So yeah, guys, Mini X Crafts is the YouTuber that I'm doing the collaboration with to build RC cars, or take an RC car and convert it. And then we're gonna do some tasks against each other. I'm not gonna say what they are yet because, well, they're gonna be fun. Yes, there's a variety of tasks our vehicles have to achieve and do, but they could well break the vehicles as well. So it's gonna be quite fun to see that. You're watching the stream with your eyes closed. Awesome. Nah, you can look. Steve, your bedroom is Warhammer terrain bomb site. I say it is. Honestly, I didn't know I had so much stuff. But again, this is where I buy bits to do a project. Then I get distracted and I go off and do a different project. But I've still got all the materials I needed for the other project. And that's why they then get put in a cupboard, a box, and forgotten about. So it is. I've got a lot of like terrain building stuff. So I really starting to start doing like dioramas again, but like a larger scale diorama. Although I must admit, I do love printing orcs at this sort of size, because I think this makes me feel more like a kid with some of the like little action figures I used to have. So yeah, I am going to be printing out more things at this bigger scale, just because I really like it. Plus, I do like the comic book style of painting. It is just fun, and obviously doing it on a bigger miniature is a whole lot easier. If you take a look at some of my older videos, I have painted like your typical size orc, cartoon style, but yeah, very difficult. Obviously the painting bit not so difficult. It's the lining afterwards. I'm not sure where it is, but I've got like the really fine like marker pens. Well, it's not a marker pen, it's a real fine ballpoint, but it's like 0.01 of a whatever. And even that, trying to do all the little lines is so difficult. So yeah, painting bigger style stuff in the cartoon style is a whole lot easier. I say, obviously doing the front bumper. Yeah, so Miniacs, this is my front bumper, which I'm hoping is going to sort of protect and save my vehicle from the tasks ahead. Yeah, so it's just getting past that weird feeling of this just looks really weird with these strong blocks of colour. It's just nuts. Andre, hi, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, so it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I always say when I do a live stream, yeah, I'll start doing more live streams, and then I don't. So yes, that's why working on this project, because I'm just sitting here painting, I thought I would, I would live stream. So I'm going to start doing more. He says, famous last words. But yeah, so I'm probably going to do a live stream as well later tonight. So I'm going to do some work this morning, as in I'm going to paint these 2 orcs. These are going to get done. Then I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then in the live stream tonight, I'm going to paint the actual the buggy itself. So yeah, so Mini Axe Crafts, by all means, stay around and watch what I'm painting. Obviously, it won't be a surprise then, but then again, seeing it being painted could be the surprise. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's going to be a large orc buggy, painted in the comic book style. There's 2 orcs that are going to be on the vehicle. And I say, when I come to film the actual vehicle, luckily I've got quite a few cameras, so I'm going to film from different angles. Because the other fun thing is, these guys are going to have springs in their bum and to sit on the seats. So as the car's bouncing, these guys are going to be bouncing. And yeah, I put a spring in the head because I want they're going to be bobblehead orcs. So as the vehicle's bouncing around, I'm hoping these are going to go nuts. Just to add a bit more the fun factor, so especially because it is like comic book style, having these guys bouncing around, yeah, it should just be funny. Again, it's all about making me laugh and smile. Everything I do is it's about having fun. Well, there's something I'm definitely gonna have to do with these paints, and that is put a clear coat of varnish over them. Because it's really weird, because all the paints that I do, like the slapchop style paints, you surrender. Yeah, all the slapshot sort of ones with the speed paints, I don't find the speed paint like comes off at all. I've had miniatures that I've done like a year or so ago, and yeah, they still look painted. Whereas I mean, this chap, well, literally I painted him earlier this morning, and there's already bits sort of starting to come off. So I guess it's probably because the paint hasn't like fully dried, and I'm sort of handling bits of it. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So these are definitely going to be coated in clear varnish just to protect the paint. That being said, that's not obviously going to protect the miniatures when I do the tasks. Yeah, I can see bits falling off, breaking off, and one of these guys maybe losing their head. Again, that's going to be quite funny. Right, let's do a few more little bits here and there. Again, so when it comes to the comic book style, there might be a proper method to the madness of doing the lighter areas. I don't know. I've watched several other YouTubers paint cartoon style. I kind of forgot the gist of what they've done. But again, everything I try and do, I do it for fun. So if it feels funny and feels good, then that's what I'm doing. Let's put a few more bits of the green on actually, because obviously he's got loads of muscles. So in all these muscles, I'm going to have to get the black pen and say draw every sort of line, edge, gets a black line to it, which is going to take a long time, but it's going to look fun. It's going to look cool. Steve, you want to put an etching primer, plastic primer on it first? Oh, what, on the miniature before the painting? Yeah, so I think it's because I don't really use sort of like normal paints much. So yeah, I'm normally using speed paints or dipping inks. So it's quite rare for me to use this like on its own. Whenever I have used these before, it's to do like a little bit of highlighting on something. But I'm going to use what I've got because obviously I've got it. I haven't got to buy anything else. But yeah, it's good old Colour Forge. I love the Colour Forge paints. Really sort of dry, nice and quick, nice and matte. Look really good. And yeah, I've got a clear varnish of those. So that's what's going to go all over the top. Oh, itchy nose. Right, what other bits? I guess just the oh no, I've got the brown strap needs a lighter brown. So what I'm going to do this one first, so I can let him dry. Then I can start painting this guy with the first coat, and then hopefully by then he'll be good, and I can just go back and then say start doing the black lines, because the black lines is what makes it look well, comic book style. Although the problem with him is I'm not sure if my pen's gonna be small enough to sort of like get in everywhere. Well, not that end anyway. That end. But because these are bigger, I can just obviously use my brush to do lines. Because that's the other good thing about the comic book style. You don't have to have perfectly thin lines that go round. You can do some like thicker lines, thinner lines. Because obviously it's meant to look like it's been drawn. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too neat, which is really good. Because sometimes I do find it difficult to be neat. Right, what brown should we use? That one? Yeah, that's the one. A lot of these bits you might not see because they're going to be obviously behind him. But it's worth painting them, especially because the chances are he's going to come flying off, I reckon. He's going to bobble for a bit and then just fly off. That's enough of the brown. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to obviously paint the need to paint my bobblehead. Is the volume low? I can turn it up a little bit, I guess. Let's just move that nearer. That's the microphone. My volume is on my little screen quite high. There we go. I've turned it up a bit more so it's not obviously going to hit the red, hopefully. Does that sound any better? Could just be me just being quiet. Morning, Marcel. Hope you're well. For those who just joined, yeah, I'm carrying on painting. It's going to be my Orc Buggy that I'm going to be putting onto an RC car so I can drive it around. It's quite large. It's 1/16 scale, so obviously the Orcs are nice and big. Everything's printed out about 295% of the size that it was before. But I'm making mine have bobbleheads. I mean, just because obviously on the RC car, I'm going to do quite a bit of filming on it. There's some tasks I need to do with it. And yeah, I just want their heads bobbing around. And yeah, so the style of painting is the comic book style, or cell shading, I think it's called as well. But yeah, definitely comic book style. Huh. Bit of a helicopter flying outside, quite low, I think. There we go. Steve, your parrots are having a mad half hour. Come out the cage, climb the shelving, and knock your grey knights over. Well, it'd be funny if you actually like picked them up and flew around with them, and then I did like skydiving, dropping them off at you. That'd be quite cool. So yeah, so again, say with the painting, obviously 2 different sort of shades of whatever colour, and then doing the black pen lighting or highlighting all around every single edge. So this isn't quite finished. I need to do like little score lines, little scratch lines, but this is kind of what obviously I'm achieving. And I say this is for a big RC car. I'm making an Orc Buggy. I wonder if it's a police one. It's coming back round again. Yeah, because where I am, we get quite a lot of the helicopters, but they're the Chinooks, so the big old double blade army ones. Because the RAF isn't too far from where I am, so yeah, quite often get them flying around. But this is definitely a smaller single sort of bladed one. Right, I think it's just his little pork leg or whatever it is, and then I can put him to one side. Once he's fully dried, then I can go around doing black lining everywhere, and then he's done. So I say it's very simple comic book style. It just takes longer than the normal style, primarily due because of the black lining you have to do around every single edge. So yeah, so on my desk, as you can see, obviously I've got all like the 2 shades, the greens, yellows, blues. So every colour I'm using, there's 2 kind of shades of each one. Is that the colour I used? Yeah, I think so. So a bit of this. Again, I might, once it's dried, go around and do the that lime, yeah, electric lime again, because some of it looks a little bit sort of wishy-washy. There we go. So there's one headless orc kind of done. Now just same sort of thing with the driver. Using pretty much the same sort of colours I've already got out really. So the main colour I've used for the orc is just Emerald Forest. So I say these are the War Paint Fanatic range. Go on really well. Like everything though, I probably don't shake the bottles anywhere near as much as I should do. I'm not thinning out the paints because yes, I'm a rebel. But yeah, the size of this, you don't need to thin paints out. Just slap the paint on. Some of it has, I've been given like second coats just so it's been a little bit thin or fine looking. Yeah, again with the comic book style, it really is very sort of, well, strong vibrant colours really, I guess. Oh, what's your nose? Right, so I'm going to paint the green on this dude, and I'm going to go and get the orc buggy to show you just how big it is. Yeah, I reckon that's a police helicopter out there because it keeps coming back, and it certainly is low. But unfortunately, I've got my blinds shut. Otherwise, you'd see like streak lines over my face. So the blinds are shut, so I can't quite see what's going on out there. Right, so I don't need to actually film any of this bit because I'm more filming him. So when I come to do the black line on him, then I'll do a bit more filming. What am I doing? The green. This brush has gone a bit hard. If you could hit the old like button, guys, yeah, that'd be cool. And sharing, obviously, my videos is always a big winner for me. If you can help me out that way, that'd be great. Well, Mr. Chopper is back again. So yeah, anyone who wasn't around earlier, this is how crazy I get. Well, not crazy, but distracted I get because I've started printing things out bigger than I normally do, like bigger scale. I love it because these do remind me of sort of miniature models when I was a kid, but like Action Man sort of ones or little action toys. So I'm going to print out some orcs this size. So I reckon when he's standing up, he's probably about 6-7 inches. So a nice decent sort of size. But yeah, I'm going to do a kill team, well, a large kill team. So I'm going to do like 6 orcs, and then I might do 6 space marines. So with these, I think I might, yeah, I'm going to do that actually, but have a game with my son. So I'm going to play kill team, but rather than like on a kill team board, just do it in a living room. So everything in the living room will be sort of terrain pieces, things to hide behind. And yeah, just get a big tape measure. So yeah, that should be quite fun actually. Yeah, kill team, but living room size, but with some nice sort of big miniatures. And so I think what I might do as well is paint them comic book style. So like a slap chop works well. Obviously, small miniatures, lots of definition. Big miniatures, especially say like this kind of thing, because of the flat edges. Slap chop wouldn't work too well on this. Well, just using speed paints, dipping inks on a big flat panel never normally looks good. But the good thing is though with these speed paints, you can put them in an airbrush, and that's something I've done before. Well, once, and yeah, worked really, really well. Mini X Crafts will take your printer a week. Yeah, I must admit that this is where I am lucky. Obviously, do have the advantage. I'm not, when I say these kind of things, guys, I'm not boasting, I'm not bragging, because I really am lucky with this channel that I get sent stuff. But I've currently got 6 printers set up. And they're all reasonably large. Well, they're medium-sized sort of build plates. I think the smallest one is the Anycubic M7. That's like I think that's a typical size build plate. Oh, and the Mini Frozen, that's a small build plate. But all the other ones are the medium-sized plates, which is really cool because obviously then I can print out lots of bits in one go. Yeah, so I do feel like I'm cheating there a little bit, Miniacs, because yeah, I do have more printers that are medium-sized, so I can print out a lot of things rather quick. No, it's not an excuse at all, buddy. Yeah, for me to print out what I've printed out, if I did that on my little Mini Frozen, well, yeah, it'd be about 6, 7 or more prints, and a lot more of the things would have to be broken into parts. I mean, as it is, the main body, which I'll show you in just a second, that was printed in several bits on a bigger printer. So yeah, to do them on a small printer, yeah, it'd be a nightmare, especially then having to try and glue everything together. Right, so yeah, I wanted to paint this dude green, then I'll go and show you the main body that I've got so far. And also I'm going to do it so that the chassis comes on and off the actual the radio controlled car bit. And I must admit, this is the other good thing about doing comic book style. You don't need to be too neat or precise. Like when you're going round, if you do go a little bit over an area you shouldn't, it almost doesn't really matter, because when you do the black pen line, that's going to cover up any little mistakes or laziness that may have happened. Well, whoever they're looking for out there, they've certainly not found him yet, because the helicopter's back. Well, it might be an army one, but I kind of doubt it. So it's normally only the Chinooks that you see. Oh, they're gorgeous looking things, huge things, fly pretty low, and yeah, very, very loud, but cool to look at. It's your drone attempting to steal a printer. Well, the thing is, again, I'm not boasting or whatever, but I've got 6 printers here, but I've probably sold, I don't know, about another 8 or so. I mean, it must be, this is the one great thing about obviously having a YouTube channel, but about 3D printing companies always trying to improve their printers. And competing with other companies, so it's almost like every 6 months there's a new printer comes out, which is really cool. And obviously even more so that they send me them early to have a bit of a play with. But that's why I always sort of say in my videos, I don't know the technical specs of stuff. I'm very much a plug and play guy. I want something to turn up, I get it out of the box, plug it into something, push the on button, and away we go. Anything that requires me to look through a manual to set things up, it's like, oh, I just can't be bothered. But that's like when the new Hay Gears printer turned up. the previous one I tried, I had quite a few issues with getting it to sort of do things. Eventually did, but it took quite a lot of flapping about. So when the new Hay Gears one turned up, I almost thought, oh, is this going to be another one that's going to be tricky? But it wasn't. Surprisingly, this Hay Gears one, the video came out a few days ago, real simple, real easy, and the fact that they all do this like the self-leveling is just awesome. I mean, this one, even the actual, when you're setting it up, it's got a little thing, that screen comes up and it tells you how to adjust the feet on it to get the actual thing completely level, which I don't think any of the others have. So this is the first one I've had where, yeah, when you're setting it up, a screen comes up and it tells you, oh, you need to like loosen or tighten one of the feet like in the corners, and you do that and obviously it gets perfectly level, and then you go on to the next one. So yeah, it's an amazing piece of kit. I haven't looked at the price, but I know people have said it is rather expensive. But I think it's one of those things where it's expensive, but it's perfect. I think like with anything, get the best sort of printer you can afford. Don't overspend, and just get what you can afford. I mean, all printers are great. They all work. They all do what they're meant to do. It's like having a car. Every car does what it's meant to do. Some cars are just nicer and better to drive. Andre, a small YouTuber you watch, Omniming, has made a video about painting Magna style, similar to cartoon style, but a lot more precise. Yeah, again, the kind of cartoon style I'm doing is definitely the simplest one. I've seen quite a lot more YouTubers, they do this, what I'm doing, but like I'm using just 2 different shades of green in this one, or 2 shades or whatever it is. They might have 3 shades or 4 shades, and they'll do a lot more. They're not blending in, but there's definitely a lot more layers going on. And again, it looks really, really awesome. It's like a lot of things. Sometimes you watch a YouTuber, they do something and you're like, oh yeah, that looks really easy, I'll have a go. And it's not always as easy as people make it look, because they've practiced and practiced and practiced and got it right. So yes, that's why a lot of times I watch YouTubers, take away bits that I can do, but then keep things simple. Like say with him, or with these ones, I'm just doing a simple 2-color sort of comic book style. So yeah, definitely nice and simple and easy, fun. But then in my eyes, looks really cool when it's done. Definitely got that fun factor. Yeah, so I think with the green, I think I definitely did 2 coats. Andre, you know what I mean? You've seen so many dry brushing vids and still have trouble with it. Yeah, so here's one of those weird things. Like dry brushing, I've always enjoyed the dry brushing I do, and think it is nice and simple. But like you say, a lot of people will find something easy, and other people won't get the results that they want from it. Yeah, it's just experimenting, really, I guess, isn't it? Experimenting and try and find what works for you, and say what you enjoy, really. Why's my earbud getting loose? Oh. Miniacs, you agree dry brushing is probably the simplest technique but can still go wrong. Yeah, yeah. Again, I always find when I'm doing it, circular motions work nicer to get like a smoother look. But sometimes, because I do like the grimdark stuff, it's like I like the two opposite ends. I like grimdark or like really strong, vibrant colour ones. Yeah, doing some of the grimdark, sometimes when you're doing the dry brushing and you get those like scratch marks, I really like that when you then paint over it and it looks more gritty rather than a nice sort of smooth transition. But again, this is where, say, painting, everyone's going to have different likes, dislikes. We're not all going to like the same thing, which is kind of cool. Right, I've only done this, so then I'll do this, then I'll go and get the main body of the truck, just so you can see how that looks. Yeah, because yesterday I got the old grinder out, trying to like take off any bits that I didn't think were really necessary or would be seen, just to try and get the weight down of it. So it's not too bad, I don't think, but it's definitely heavier than the plastic that's currently sitting around the car. Right, nearly done. It's a little bit more on the hands. Right, one hand to do, and then I'll go and get the buggy. So yeah, with the buggy, I've not painted anything at all yet. Last night I kind of glued the front end and the back end together. I do need to like cut some holes out and put some bits on it, just so that I can take it on and off the main body. But I'll show you that when I show you it. Radio. Yeah, so the one coat's not gone on too bad. There's a few areas that look a little bit sort of dry, patchy. So definitely going to give him a second coat. Right, so I'm going to go and get the body, the actual RC car, and then the the bit that I'm going to stick on the top. Right, so this is the car. Let's put that over there for a moment. Oh. So yeah, this is the car as it is. It's a nice size. I say this is where I am such a big kid. I've always wanted an RC car. Never really had one. I think I may have had the silly little ones that were connected to a wire, so not like a proper RC car. About 70 quid this, so it wasn't cheap, but obviously it wasn't expensive. The reason I've gone for this is obviously nice big chunky wheels, chunky suspension, and supposedly this thing can do 40 kilometers an hour. Well, it can go over 40 kilometers an hour is what it says. So this is obviously the body. It is plastic, it is light. The thing I'm putting on obviously isn't plastic, isn't light. So if this can go half the speed, I'd be happy. So yeah, so this has got obviously these locating bits at the front and the back that this obviously sits on. There is little like things you can poke through to keep this on. So with the body I've done, I want to do it so it can like locate onto these. So because some of the tasks this thing's going to do, so I'm not going to give any spoilers on the tasks, but some of the tasks this thing's got to do, bits may well fly off, this thing may well turn upside down. Who knows? So this is what I've got to work with, and this is what I've printed out. So Mini X Crafts, if you are still there, by all means watch, I don't mind. But this is the body that I've got for my vehicle. So it's not too bad, because a lot of this was hollowed out. So apart from the bits like on the bumpers, a lot of the other bits are only about 2 millimeters thick. So the whole thing I tried to hollow out before printing. So yeah, it should be. It's lighter than it could have been. But yeah, so this is kind of what I've got. So it's big, it's chunky. I say there's room for it to bounce without hopefully these hitting the wheels. I say this is going to be red primarily because obviously it'll go faster that way. And as it is red, to obviously make it easier to paint, because I say most of this is going to be red. The rivets I'm going to do grey. Some of the back bits going to have some green bits on it, but on the whole, mostly red. So to make it easier to obviously paint it and quicker, I'm going to use good old Colourforge Sanguine, I think, red. So matte finish. Again, this is why I love using the Colourforge, and I've been using them now for well over a year and love it, because they do obviously a variety of colours. Primarily I normally use just the black, because obviously everything gets painted in black and then dry brushed. But yeah, this stuff, yeah, it goes on really well, dries really well. So this one is obviously the darker red in this, which I think is a lovely looking red. So yeah, that's what's going to make it easier to quickly paint this. But then obviously every edge, every line, I've got to go over with a black marker. So yeah, I can't wait. It's going to look pretty cool. I used, obviously this back bit, I used some glue and then did like the old spray with water, but it's gone really weird. Some big old, it's difficult to see there, but big old like thick lumpy bits. But I'm going to leave them in, because obviously this is an AUK vehicle, and well, they don't make things to be perfect, they make things to be functional. And in this case, because I'm going to paint it red, it's going to go quicker, supposedly. So yeah, this is going to be the main body. So I'm probably going to do a live stream tonight. So the one tonight, I'm going to paint this obviously red a bit later on. So the live stream tonight will be me going over this with the other red, doing bits, painting a few other bits, a few colours, and then going over and doing black lines everywhere. Guns, no. As much as I would love to put guns on this, Andre, they're going to cause a lot more weight. So no, in fact, there's no guns. Say one orc has got a steering wheel, and one orc has got a leg of pork or whatever, and a bottle of wine. So yeah, it's going to be gunless. So this really is a speedster. Well, a speedster that doesn't shoot or do any damage. But yeah, no guns at all. Say I would have loved to put guns on, but this is it's not heavy, but compared to the plastic thing that was originally on there, yeah, it's a lot heavier. So it'll be interesting to see, because what I'm going to do as well, I am going to take it outside, have a little play, video it with this on, and I might do like a time test. I might try and find a nice straight bit, measure it, see how quick it does it with the plastic sort of top on, and then see how quick or slow it goes with this on. But yeah, I just think it's just fun. As I think the size of it, so you can imagine him in there. I say the body is going to be on springs, so that's going to be bouncing up and down, and then yeah, his head on a spring is going to be bouncing around. So it should be fun. Slap chop that truck, Grandpa. Hey, no way, Jose. No slap chop in here. So yeah, so this is obviously this, and then I've still got obviously the. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach that yet, but somehow I'm going to attach the bumper to the front. So say comic book style. Yeah. So it's going to look funky. It's going to be the funky orc buggy with bobblehead orcs in a nice vibrant sort of look. Oh, Mr. Helicopter is back again. Right, so yeah, so this it's quite a cool bit of kit. I'm just hoping it's still going to be in a decent nick once I've done the tasks. If not, it's just going to be a big doorstop. Well, yeah, let's get back to painting these orcs, because I say this is all I really want to get done this morning, is both these orcs fully painted. Because then I can have a little break, and then say later on, say probably do a live stream. I'm not sure I'm going to start at 6 or 7 this evening. But yeah, live stream later on of me painting the truck. Right. Yeah, I might as well just paint in the same colours as the other dude. Because obviously they're meant to be in like the same army, I guess. Billy Joel, Grandpa, you're planning to buy army painter set, okay? I think I'm much more comfortable with contrast. Yeah, I would say, for me, I never used to like painting miniatures. I used to hate it because I was no good. It took forever. Didn't enjoy the painting, and certainly didn't enjoy how it looked. Speed paints, contrast paints, that's what's really given me a love for painting miniatures, and given me more confidence in painting in different sort of styles. So yeah, like, I mean, you've already answered the question. You've already sort of said you're comfortable with contrast paint. Stick with contrast paint. I don't normally use like solid full paints, but for obviously the comic book style, yeah, these are perfect because you want the strong vibrant colours. But I'm no good at using these kind of paints to do like feathering and blending and all that other sort of stuff. And that's why for me, speed paints are awesome because they do all the work. So yeah. But again, the thing is though, try out contrast paints, try out acrylic paints. It's one of those things you never really know unless you try it yourself, to what you might prefer. So this is what I wanted to do, is go on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. If I went on Facebook now, there'd be loads of people putting comments in like the area I live, saying what the helicopter's there for. I'm not saying people where I am are nosy, but yeah, just go on Facebook and you can find out what's going on in your area. Yeah, so this, this is the driver. So the other dude is sitting on, say, there's a so this dude's on a seat. There's two seats obviously in the front of the truck, but he's only sitting on one. And then there's this this kind of crate thing, which is what the other dude is sitting on. So yeah, the plan is probably a video maybe on Sunday, just showing me paint these two orcs, and then the full video of the whole orc thing, Buggy, sometime sort of mid-end October. But I may do some sneak peek sort of cinematic videos of the truck sort of driving around, just because I want to have some fun getting some video of the orcs bouncing around as they're driving. Kooky13 watching from work. That's cool. Hopefully you're not working too hard. Steve, you live on a main road. If you don't hear sirens every half hour, something's wrong. Yeah, typically it's quiet where I live. Sometimes the Chinooks fly around, but that's kind of it. There's no like airline paths anywhere near, But yeah, that helicopter is definitely looking for something, I think. Billy Joel, thanks. Your video is the reason you're doing slapchop. Yeah, it's a lovely, easy thing to do, slapchop, with great results, minimal effort, speed, fun, ease. Yeah, it's a great way to get into this hobby, enjoy it. I say then, yeah, once you know you can do that, and you've always got that to fall back on, then you just try other sort of types of painting. You'd much rather be at home in your booth painting, Cookie. Yeah, don't blame you, buddy. Painting's fun. Well, this whole hobby, making things, is fun. Steve, in the army, you called a Chinook a Waka Waka. You've been in a few. Oh, wow. A Lynx and Puma. I mean, they are. They're just gorgeous looking things because they're huge. Just mega size. Never been in one, like, but I've been in a... Well, I've been in a double blade helicopter. I went from Heathrow up to Scotland in one. That was quite cool. Again, that was just loud, though. So loud inside. Oh, itchy nose. So this live stream, usual kind of thing. Not sure how long it's going to last. Generally, I kind of end them when I get really hungry and I need to go and have something to eat. Miniature, speak of the devil, I have 2 packs of bacon that aren't going to consume themselves. Yeah, see, it's when people start talking about food as well, that makes me even hungrier. Although I have got some nuts to the side, so I might have a munch on my nuts in a minute. Plus, I am dying to have a little look on Facebook and see what people are saying about the helicopter. Rightio. So say comic book style, really simple, really easy. But again, for me, it just feels weird because I'm so used to using speed paints and them doing all the work. Obviously, with this, it is just strong block colours. It's just bizarre. Right, I'm going to stop what I'm watching because I say I'm just going to have a quick look and see if anyone has put things up on Facebook. I can't see them. There's no way they couldn't have put things up. Oh, there they go. Straight away. Something's going on not far from where I am. Police everywhere. Oh wow, yeah, I think definitely something major seems to be going on near where I'm living. Lots of police, the helicopters. Well, I hope whatever it is, everyone's okay. Right, let's get back to fun stuff. Carry on watching this, do a bit more painting, maybe another half hour, and then I might have to take a break and go and do some food. Go on YouTube. Liam Dempsey does Warhammer videos. He used to repair Apache helicopters. Oh wow. Andre, you've seen so many hours of my channel, yet you've never painted an orc. How very dare you? Especially because if anyone obviously has been around for ages, when my channel first started, I had this is how much I didn't used to paint. I had one orc I painted. I called him the Lonely Orc, and I had him literally as a reference because I used to just build like terrain and bits and pieces. So I used this orc as a reference scale to build stuff to. And he was called the Lonely Orc because he was the only one I had, and literally the only thing I painted for about the first, I don't know, 6 months, a year of the channel. So he was the Lonely Orc. Then I had another orc called Dave the Orc, and whenever I built like a plane or a spaceship or a vehicle of any kind, Crazy Dave would be the test pilot for the vehicle. But yeah, the Lonely Orc. I don't know where he's gone. Yeah, it's a shame because I'd love to have found this one original orc I painted, take pictures of him, and then repaint him in the slapchop style. I say he would have been painted. Well, I think for the first month or so he was only half painted, because literally he would have been painted like I'm painting these sort of things, block solid colours, and then I'd put a wash over everything, and that would be it. And yeah, they would look. Oh, they would look pants. I mean, not that my painting's like mega better now, but it certainly is better enough that I enjoy painting. I'm painting every day. I'm painting, and yeah, so for the probably about the first 2 years of this channel, I probably painted about four or five miniatures, if that. But yeah, now I'm painting miniatures, say every day. Yeah, poor old Lonely Orc. He's going to be even lonelier now because I'm sure he's probably in some landfill somewhere. Yeah, I've got no idea where he's turned or where he's gone. Although I have got a 3D model maker that's making me my own special orc. So I'm going to call him the Lonely Orc because I always wanted to do the Lonely Orc pub, didn't I? And I did start doing one. But like a lot of things I do on this channel, most projects I start, I do finish. I'm not too bad, but there are the odd project I start. And it's generally the bigger projects. So it takes a long time to do, obviously, the bigger projects. So I start them, but then I work on smaller projects as well. But then sometimes with the big projects, I'm almost like, oh, there's so much to do, I don't think I want to do it. And then I'd go on and I do smaller projects, and then sometimes big projects kind of disappear. Because like I always say, for me, this channel, even though I do it full time, it's all about having fun. I'm not going to make videos just for sake of making videos, and I'm not going to make things just for sake of like making it or making something I don't enjoy. So there's quite a few projects that I start, then halfway through I'm like, yeah, I'm not enjoying this. And if I continued, I would literally be painting for the sake of painting or making to make it into a video. And that's not what I want to do. Every video I put out is a video that I've wanted to do, and I've had fun and enjoyed. So yeah, that's why sometimes projects sort of don't always work. I've got no idea what I'm talking about now. I don't know why I started talking about this. Oh, the Lonely Orc. That was it. The Lonely Orc and the Lonely Orc pub. I still want to make a pub. If I ever will, I don't know. But yeah. Yes, I did have a wizard. Yes, Andre. Yeah, I made a wizard tower out of sprues, didn't I? And there was an orc on there that I converted to make him look more like a wizard. Yes, I don't think he had a name. But yes, so there's 3 orcs that I would have painted in the first 2 years. The Lonely Orc, Crazy Dave, and some wizarding orc. I want to say I had a couple of dwarfs, but I can't really remember. Space Marines. Oh yeah, none of these Space Marines were were hurt in the making of that video. Yeah, because again, going back a long time ago, when I first started this, I got some Space Marines and I made molds of them, and then I recast my own sort of things in plastic. Not realising that those at Warhammer, or Games Workshop, sorry, wouldn't be happy with what I was doing. It's like this was I was really new to the hobby, literally just started, had the channel about 6 weeks, I think. Made a video, I'll say how to make a mould of a little miniature, and how to cast it, and then obviously make as many miniatures as you wanted. Well, I put the video up, and I think within a day, about 24, 48 hours of the video going up, got an email from Games Workshop, cease and desist email, telling me to take the video down and stop making them kind of videos. But a good thing, I mean, the thing is really annoyed me. This video, it went viral and had like 60,000 views within like, I don't know, a day or so. And bear in mind, I literally had the channel about 6 weeks. So yeah, it went. The channel just blew up, which is really weird. Whereas now I get a lot less views than I used to get. Go figure. Yeah. So what I then did, I took that video down because I say the letter was kind of like, yeah, it was a letter that you'd listen to because obviously it did mention solicitors and other stuff, and obviously I didn't want to lose my YouTube channel even though I'd only had it six weeks. So I took the video down, but then I made another video almost as a disclaimer on, but this it was a disclaimer, but it said like, this is what you shouldn't do. And then it went on to show me making a mould, casting the miniatures, but then obviously towards the end of it I then said that obviously this is just how to show mould making process, not how to make Warhammer miniatures. And to prove that, I then cut up all the moulds that I made, just so I couldn't make any more. And the miniatures themselves, I set them on fire. I think I used 3 different types of resin. I think there was like a normal resin, a clear resin, and there was something else. Can't remember what it was, but there was, I think there was 3 different types. So I literally set them on fire. Yeah, one of them went off really well, but the black fumes and all sorts. So if you look for one of my really old videos, on the thumbnail it'll say something about no Space Marines were hurt in the making of this video, and then a little arrow going to one of these Space Marines that's on fire saying maybe this one though. So yeah, so say 6 weeks after having the channel, get a letter, email, whatever, from Games Workshop telling me to stop casting their miniatures out of plastic. Oopsie. Right, what am I doing? Just go over any areas that need a second coat. So I'm going to go over his green. So you probably can't see it too badly on the screen. But yeah, the green on him, it's not too bad on the whole, but there's a few areas that are a little bit patchy. So we'll just tidy them up. Francois Marion, hello. Yeah, so guys, if you can hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, that'd be awesome. What green did I use? What was that one? Right. I'm gonna stop what I'm watching. Oh, pardon me. I'm just going to put some music on in my ear. Oh, looking at what that is. So 2 seconds, just going to get some music because it's I can't just sit and paint. I need to watch something or listen to something. So yeah, a bit of music in the ear is generally what I do. A bit of 80s music, because obviously I'm old. I like the 80s stuff. Well, I like 70s stuff as well. Right, so we'll give him another coat. What I might do, normally I would paint the whole of him and then do the black line on him. But I think because I'm going to finish in about 15-20 minutes, I might start doing the black lining on him just so you can see the difference it makes. So that's when it really does start looking more comic book style. Put a bit of red in that. Well, honestly, this is one thing I really do like about the paints nowadays. There's such a big range of colours, as in, like, obviously I've got the war paints ones here. Like the greens, there's just so many different colour greens. And again, this is where I say I want to say I'm not lazy, but I might be. I like the fact I don't have to mix like a green with a white or green with yellow or mix colours to make another colour. The fact that there are so many paints, and obviously you can't quite see them, but to the side of me, one of my videos, I'm laser engraved some paint racks. So I've got them going up the side of my unit here. And it's just great that there are so many choices of colours that make it nice and easy to sort of find a colour you like and not have to do the mixing up. I know a lot of people like mixing and making their own sort of shades of colours. But again, for me, I love the simplicity and ease at which there are already so many paint colours. So the paint palette is just, yeah, it's just nice. Especially with good variation in greens as well. I mean, even though orange is my favourite colour, obviously I do like green because I paint a lot of green skins. Oh, itchy ear now. Oh, sorry about that. My ear or brain, very itchy. Yeah, Miniacs Crafts. Yeah, cheers for watching. So I hope you're getting, hope you're getting some sleep, mate. And yeah, hope your vehicle turns up soon and you can get cracking and building and making and painting. And yeah, can't wait to see see what you do and to see how well both our vehicles perform in the tasks. So guys, if you want to check out another YouTuber that does sort of similar stuff to me, but probably better, Mini Axe Crafts does a lot of sort of dioramas and bits and pieces. So yeah, go check them out, because that's who I'm doing a collaboration with this thing that I'm currently painting. So yeah, we're both going to have RC cars, give them a few tasks to achieve, and yeah, just have fun making videos and sort of like working together on it, which would be so pretty cool. So yeah, go check out his channel, well, when you can. Paint dried really quickly. Definitely 2 coats for most of this green, I think. Alright, I think that's him pretty much done. So yes, so I'm going to have a go now at doing the black lining on the other dude. So I do prefer, where possible, to use, say, marker pens, just because they're so much easier. But it's going to be quite a few areas I'm not going to be able to get with that. So I will need to use a paintbrush and a steady hand. The thing is, though, I have got a steady hand. I just can't always see where that hand's going. Rightio. So again, yeah, some of this I will need to film for the well, the video showing me making the people. Oh. So yeah, like I've done with the bumper, it is literally a case of going over any sort of like edge. Obviously, where all his muscles are sort of like formed, black lines in all of that bit, all around the strap on his thing, even like to the extent of the bite mark will have black on it. Yeah, yeah, so generally whenever I can, using a pen is just so much easier. But trying to get into certain areas, I won't be able to. So it will be a case of using a paintbrush, a bit of black to try and get some lines going. I think I did find some other pens. So this other thing, because obviously because I've gone from a 2-bed flat to a 4-bed house, and I've got a dedicated room for the hobby, I found so much stuff that I didn't know or forgot I had. But now it's a case of trying to find a home for it that I remember. But yeah, I think I was sorting something out yesterday and I found some more black pens. So let's go and get those. Yeah, so these might be able to help with this, because these pens are obviously some very, very fine ones. Might be too fine for this. Say when I've had to go doing comic book style on small miniatures like this, then yeah, you do need a very fine pen. But I think that's going to be too fine for this. What's this one like? Oh, that one doesn't look too bad. This one can be smaller. Oh, that one looks pretty cool. Yeah, I might use that one quite a bit. So yeah, it's just a case of going over doing the lines. The good thing with this is, because it's comic book style, it doesn't matter if some of the lines are thicker or thinner than other lines, because that's when you look at comic books. Yeah, some of the lines are thicker and thinner. So just checking a few things. Cool. Right, yeah. Let's move that out of the way. Let's have a little bit of a drink, and then we'll get cracking with some lines. It's really weird because I always feel nervous when I first start drawing lines, just because you don't want to make a mess. Yeah, that one might be too thick. Is that any thicker than that one? Oh, I think the one's smaller. Yeah, we'll have a go, see if I can get it with that one. Right, let's get the camera going. Morning everyone, or afternoon or evening, wherever you might be. Yeah, anyone new that's just come online. Yeah, I've got an RC car that I'm converting into an Orc vehicle. So this is the current chassis on the RC vehicle I've got. So radio controlled car is what it is. So this is the chassis that's on there. Obviously very light. The one I 3D printed, not so light. I've tried to make it as thin as I can. So a lot of it is hollowed out. But yeah, this is the vehicle that I've got. So it's an Orc buggy. Obviously the driver going to sit at the front, and there's a dude obviously eating some ham or something. He's going to sit at the back. It'll be very unusual because this vehicle isn't going to have any weapons, purely because of the weight of it. I don't really want to stick anything else on it. Otherwise this RC vehicle isn't going to move at all. So the fun thing is though, these guys are going to have springs in their bums, so as the car goes they're going to be bobbing up and down. But I've also put in their heads on springs, so they are turning into their bobble heads. So it should make it real fun to video this, because obviously this vehicle is going to be bouncing up and down and whatever. So they're going to be bouncing, heads bouncing, and I'm just going to be laughing and wetting myself. So yeah, I've always wanted an RC vehicle, never had one before. Again, I am a big kid, So yeah, I bought myself a nice one. It's 116th scale. Oh no, 1/16th scale. Wasn't too expensive, about 70 quid. So it wasn't cheap one either. It's a nice looking one. It's got plenty of suspension on it. Although I think it's going to need it with this weight on it. And yeah, say painting wise, slapchop wouldn't have really have looked too good for this, I don't think, because it is quite. There's a lot of large flat panels. So yeah, it would have looked pants. So yeah, that's why I've gone with comic book style. Oh, not him because he's still wet. Yeah, so with the comic book style, now is a case of doing the black lines. I say this pen might be too thick. I'm not sure. We'll try it. If it is, then I'll just use a paintbrush to get into the areas that this won't reach. So if I start around the back, I can definitely start with some easier bits. So we'll just go along the edge of the strap. Yes, there's a few bits there it's not quite getting into. So yeah, so this is definitely where the time consuming bit comes from doing comic book. Let's stop the filming for a second. Yeah, so say this is having a few problems getting in the smaller areas, but again, that's where I love the fact with the comic book style, it doesn't matter if some of the lines aren't neat or if some of the lines are thicker or thinner. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, so I think for a lot of this, I'm going to actually use paintbrush and some matte black. Just to get in. So some of the bigger areas, wherever I can, I'll use the pen. Only because I find with the pen, it's a lot steadier and neater than than using the brush. Right, so we'll film a bit more, just showing the fact that I'm now going to use the brush, just because I can't always get into these nooks and crannies. But the other good thing, I guess, with this is if you do make a mistake, because you are just using like normal acrylic colours, they just go over the top of each other. So you can put like a light colour over the top, as opposed to whenever you're doing slap chop painting. If you make a mistake, yeah, it's a bit harder to sort of change it really. forgot I was still recording. Oh well, we'll trim that down a bit. Right, slowly but surely. So yeah, this is where it just goes a bit slow now because there's so many lines to do. But yeah, I do like this processor, to be honest. Again, painting for me is quite therapeutic. It's a nice way to just sort of chill and yeah, relax. Not that I have any stress in my life, like, but. Got any questions or anything you want to know, guys? Just ask. Yeah, because even like some of these arm bits, I think are looking quite too sort of thick. Again, this is the great thing. Once it dries, I can just go over with a different colour and thin the lines down. So yeah, it's. But again, whenever you're painting, don't worry about what you're doing. Just have fun with it. And if you need to sort of tidy or tart bits up at the end, then yeah, you do it. Right. Oh. Maniacs, how does the team composition and kill team work? In the commander's box, there are 12 models. Do you have to take all 12, or can you just use 5 each model as points? Yeah, in kill team, when you look at each particular kill team, it'll tell you how many people you can take. So yeah, the Orc Commandos in kill team, I think they have 11, or is it 12? So I know the Squig is one, but that's why whenever I play kill team, I prefer the 6-man kill teams, just because, well, they're easier to control because there's less different types, as in, especially with the Orc Commandos. Pretty much every Orc Commando has its own data sheet because it's got a different kind of gun or a layout or whatever. So yeah, I like the simple ones. Say some of the 6-man teams, they literally are the leader, and the other five are all the same. So the same gun, same layout, same hit points, whatever you want to call it, all the same. So much easier to take control of. So whenever I play, say I think the Legionnaires is the kill team that I really like playing. Because I play with a mate, we use the rule of cool. So like the orcs that I've done, where I've converted them and given them, well, I put them in space armor. So these are like proper Warhammer miniatures. There is a video coming out. Obviously, I've got to finish it first. Yeah, so these guys, the Legionnaires, they're a little bit different, as in they have a few different sort of operatives, but there's always a captain, so he'll have the more hit points, does better damage. Most of the guys are going to have like a gun of some sort and an axe or a sword. Some of them might have a rocket launcher. So yeah, so that's why I generally pick 6-man teams. There's loads of different 6-man teams to choose from. Yeah, to be mate, what does he play? He plays. Oh, I think is it the death something? I know they have this bit where they can turn into a zombie. So when you kill them, they turn into a zombie, and they get one more kind of like go. But yeah, the Legionnaires I like. And what's the other one? Because I even made a kill team that had. Well, I think it was orcs again, mostly orcs. But the kill team was Darth Vader and Stormtroopers, because again, one captain, and then all the others are pretty much the same sort of spec. But yeah, I know with the Orc Commandos, they all have different abilities, and it just made it hard work keeping track. So yeah, for me, always 6-man teams. Definitely rule of cool. So yeah, we go more on what the characters look like for fun, because I've got a Judge Dredd kill team as well. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of kill teams. That's why I've gone mad. But that's why, yeah, I've never had a kill team sort of big size, and that's why I'm excited now to go and have a look at what sort of kill team miniatures I like, print them out. But so I'm going to print them out so they're a good 6-7 inches tall. Just because obviously when I was a kid, that was a kind of like a size. Obviously we had Action Man, but then we had smaller action figures, like the old posable bits, and they were typically about 6-7 inches in height. So a kill team with miniatures 6-7 inches in height should be fun. All the guides and videos recommend buy a box and play it. Yeah, that's another reason why, if you are going to play it, going with the smaller teams with the more manageable like data cards. I say there is one. There's a few teams where it literally is you got a captain or leader or whatever they're called, and then 5 other operatives, all with the same abilities, and that just makes it so much easier. So me and my mate, we've been playing for about a year and a bit. We still have the cards with us on the table because even though they are basic, we still forget how many hit points or how many dice they roll to do damage or to hit or other stuff. But yeah. Andre, have I used any of the FDM printers? No, I really want to get an FDM printer, but not for miniatures. I want to print out like full size like face masks, or make a large R2D2, or something I would love to have is like the like knight's armor, like a full helmet, chest plate, the arm bit, the whole bit, and have like a full night. I think that would be awesome. So that's why if I got an FDM printer, yeah, I'd be printing bigger rather than using miniatures. You're hesitant to buy a resin one, bad lungs. Yeah, I'll have to admit, I mean, I'm not the best when it comes to health and safety in the workplace. I mean, typically, whenever I have used printers, the window's always open. It's like now I'm in this room. Typically, I try and print. Well, now I can print at night, so then I'm not in the room at all. Whereas before, where I had the printer, it was in a hallway. It was well ventilated, but it was in an area where people could walk past it. And I'm always thinking, if they walk past it, the old floorboard moves, and all you got to do is mess up one layer of a print, and it messes up the rest of the layers. So yeah, so that's one good thing about being here. I probably will set printers going at night time, especially obviously printing bigger things, because they do take longer. So obviously, I'm more used to printing out something like this size, which can be done in like a couple of hours, whereas these are definitely more your 6-7 hour job. Some of the bits are printed for the actual vehicle because of the way I positioned them. I think the longest print was about 12 hours. So again, it's nice to be able to print things in a room, windows open, doors shut, and me not in that room. But yeah, I understand obviously if you've got bad lungs, yeah. I mean, I sometimes feel like I should wear a mask because I can smell the resin sometimes. But hey ho, something's going to kill us all one day. So, pew pew. Did I hear about the stormtrooper who suffered from insomnia? He couldn't hit his alarm clock to turn it off. LOL. Yeah, poor stormtroopers. But yeah, so that I've got quite a few favourite kill teams I've done. The Judge Dredd kill team is definitely one of them because I loved Judge Dredd as a kid. Bought the comic religiously every week and all that. And obviously Star Wars because it was stormtroopers and Darth Vader. Yeah. Aaron Cheek, FDM does generally have a bigger build plate compared to resin. Yes. Well, that's it. I want to get the big one. Is it the bamboo? Is it bamboo? No, but I just remember my brains. I've got stuck on bamboo now. But yeah, there are quite a few FDM ones that are like super sized, and it's definitely one of them I want to get. Just to say, I really want to print out. Oh, so I keep it in the what's it? I really want to print out a mask. I'm not sure what mask, but a mask. Plus, my son would like me to print him out masks as well. So maybe one day I will get one. Well, maybe I really need to approach a company and say, "Oh, do you want to send me one? I'll do a video with it." Gelato, you've known since 20. The domain. Yeah, so that's where. Yeah, because I've had a couple of YouTube channels. One of them I did with my kids ages ago, just as fun one for them to do games and stuff. Then I did one where I was making Lego animations. But towards the end of the Lego animations, I then started with their Mega Blocks. So obviously a lot more articulation, like in a little minifigure. Then I started making little dioramas, and that's when I got in touch with the domain to make these little dioramas with some of these figures. But then the thing with YouTube, if you've got a channel, you need to do one thing on that channel. It's when you start doing different things, you then lose interest from some people. Because obviously when you go on YouTube, you follow someone because they do that one specific thing. If they start doing something different, you don't watch them for the other things. And I think that's the problem I've had with this channel. That I have sort of started off by doing Warhammer stuff predominantly. Then I started making stuff out of sprues. Then I started making stuff out of rubbish. Then obviously 3D printers came along and I just love 3D printers. So that's why sometimes my videos get less views now than before because my audience is split between different particular things they want to watch. But yeah, Gelato, that was a long time ago then. Yeah, not too far. I should hit the 100 sort of, well, summer next year. I say because my subscriber count over the last few months has gone down quite a lot. Typically I was getting sort of like 1,000, 1,500 a month, but recently I'm getting about 600, so I'm not too sure why. But so that's why, honestly, you guys, if you can share my videos, obviously leave comments, like, and all that kind of stuff. And if you are new, yeah, definitely hit the subscribe button. Yeah, to be informed of all the new videos. So say, I'm going to finish doing the live stream soonish. 12 o'clock, that's gone quick, 12 o'clock. Yeah, because I want to go and get something to eat. But I will be carrying on the live stream. So this, I'm probably going to finish off this afternoon. But the live stream this evening will be me painting the full-size truck. Which should be cool. So yeah, I'm going to call it there actually, guys, because say, yeah, now I've just so whenever I start talking about food, if I'm hungry, it's like, it's then the only thing on my mind. So yeah, so I'm going to finish these two off camera. But yeah, so if you want to see me painting the bigger thing, I've obviously got the main buggy that these dudes are going to be in. So I have painted the bumper, obviously big old bumper. So as you can see, it's going to be red. It's going to be strong, vibrant colours. It's going to be the fun buggy, the fun buggy with bobblehead orcs. There you go. Okay, let's stop music in my head because I'm going to go and have something to eat, and then probably come back and watch. Well, I don't know, a box set of some kind. Anyway, guys, cheers for being there. Yeah, I've got some done, which is always good. But yeah, I'll be back sometime later today. Say probably about 6 or 7 PM UK time, perhaps. Okay, guys, you take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.